2K is at Gamescom in a big way, with basketball behemoth NBA 2K13, sprawling gun extravaganza Borderlands 2, and the longer than long awaited XCOM, all vying for the attention of press and public alike. I'm here in the massive Cole Messer to talk to what we in the industry call the talent behind this top trio of titles. Titles of games.
Be able to break down defenders like you've never been able to do before, killer crossovers, behind the back, spin moves, all this fun stuff that you could do, you know, with a basketball you're going to be able to do now, and you're not no longer restricted with just only it being on the left stick. Now being on two sticks, you get way more control. We are supporting the Kinect this year through voice commands, so things like calling in players on and off the bench, calling a timeout, calling plays, and we have this whole branch system now. So, for example, you might drive the lane for a layup, get some contact while going up, now fall to the floor, look to the ref, and try to sell to the ref, hey man, I was fouled. You're getting the All-Star game, the dunk competition, the three-point competition, the rookie sophomore challenge. Everything that goes into All-Star Weekend is going to be in this DLC that wasn't available previously. So it's a great little added feature when you pre-order NBA 2K. So yeah, NBA 2K13 will be on shelves on October 5th.
The enemies are fantastic, and there's a real sense of kind of building up your squad and actually caring for the characters you play, you know, because they can die at any moment. So it's just a fantastic game, and it's really going to take a lot of people by surprise.
It's not just your average turn-based, it's really fun because of all the aliens and all the different technology and building up your bases and everything. I don't know, I think it could be onto a winner. In
fact, I'd say that it's honestly my game of the show, in that I don't know much about it and it's blown me away.
In the absence of a miracle, this could very well be the end of civilization as we know it.
We made this game fully expecting people to play multiple times and even lose. I mean, that's one of those weird things about our game, is that we're sort of an oddball nowadays because you can actually lose XCOM. I come from the background of being a very big fan of the original. Like, that's the reason we're making this game, is I went to college, got a computer science degree because of this game. Like, I've played it every year since it came out. There were certain things that we knew, like these things, they're not just features, they are pillars where the way that they interact, it sort of creates that XCOM magic. And you can't really lose any one of them. You really only want to mess with those if you've clearly come up with something better. And it's hard to do because the original is such a good game. We have so many stories internally, just like the original game. Like, we have these stories internally of, like, you lose this character and it is absolutely heartbreaking. These heartbreaking moments that it's genuine emotion. I mean, and that's what permadeath gets for you.
All the explosions bigger, all the enemies monstrous and more badass.
Terramorphous the Invincible is our sort of foray into the raid boss sort of area of gameplay. It's easy to make something that's hard just for the sake of being hard. What's interesting about Terramorphous is that he requires 4 players and he requires a great deal of strategy. Like, you know, even when if you're into raids and WoW or whatever, you know, the amount of strategy that takes, and making sure you have the right gear and the right build and knowing exactly what you're doing and interacting with your friends. It's sort of the highest level play that there is. True Vault Hunter mode is what separates, you know, the sissies from the real badasses, essentially. You have to really care about elemental effects. You have to really care about your spec and how making sure your class mod is working in conjunction with the skills you've picked and all that stuff. It's really interesting in that it forces you to sort of understand all the mechanics and use them all to your advantage. I really am excited to see people who, you know, maybe they play through the game as Maya or Zero or whatever, and then the Necromancer comes out and they play through it again. It's like, oh my god, it's a completely different game. Because I've done that. I've played through the game about like 9 times, something stupid, with a bunch of different characters. And every single time you play with a new character, the entire game is new. It's not just, you're not just getting, when you get a new character, you're not just getting a 2-3 hour DLC. You're actually getting another 38 hours of gameplay that make you think completely differently and play with completely different skills, and it's great.